Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Future AI Show, proudly presented by Dynam.ai. My name is Matt Brown. I'm one of the co-hosts of this incredible media show that we're putting on for decision makers who are really interested in the application of artificial intelligence in the real world, what's shaping the future of business, all these sorts of things, all driven through AI. With me on the line is the CEO of Dynam, Diana Shapiro. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Matt. Happy to be here. Excited
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
great. I must say it looks terrific. And this is such an incredible initiative. So super excited to get this launch episode out of the way. So Diana, for our viewers around the world who haven't heard of who you are, I'd love for you just to paint a picture for us of your background. And maybe then start with the elevator pitch around Dynam, like who are your customers? What's the problem that you guys are solving?
Absolutely. So on me, I've spent a career in data and analytics, which is over 25 years. Starting in med tech, moved into clean tech, and ended up in high tech, and really started with financial tech. So as one of the first employees for the founders of MarketWatch.com, and really getting infatuated, quite frankly, with the analytics side of the financial industry and really forecasting and predictive analytics. And so from there, I got into waste removal and diversion using algorithms to determine how full the containers were before the trucks came to pick them up, and became the COO of that company, taking really the company to new levels as far as saving money for Fortune 500 companies with our methodologies. So really taking algorithms and then turning them into SaaS solutions and commercializing and proliferating and growing companies has been at my core for 25 years. From there, I got into the medical device space, where we're taking brainwave activity from electroencephalogram, EEG technology, and using that to really look at disruptions in brain activity and correct that with transcranial magnetic stimulation. So using EEG, running algorithms in order to reset the brain waves and develop a treatment plan using TMS that can help reset and help patients feel better. So we help veterans, we helped kids, and I'm still an owner in that company, and they're going through clinical trials right now with Special Operations Command. From there, I just continued to expand and wanted to get into artificial intelligence and machine learning more, which does fall within data and analytics. But it was such a new and upcoming field. As a COO, I didn't understand. And I didn't understand why it would cost me millions of dollars to hire a company to put it in place. I figured I could save money if I really understood better and could be a better negotiator. And what I ended up doing is realizing that it is complicated and it does take time and it requires a whole lot of expertise. And so I learned that, and now I'm applying that at Dynam. So I was able to get my certificate from MIT for machine learning and artificial intelligence as it applies to business, and how can it help businesses grow and prosper and reduce costs and differentiate and all those great things. And so I'm applying all of what I've learned, but also my experience over the 25 years taking data and analytics and automating processes and reducing costs and packaging that for customers. So at Dynam, we're really at the forefront of artificial intelligence. You can call it bleeding edge. Gartner just recognized us as a cool vendor for AI and simulation. So we're working on things such as simulation, where you can take AI models and really put them into real world simulation. So variables that they'll experience once they're in a customer's environment, and sort of stress test them, make sure that the outputs that you get are what are expected, so that we're automating subject matter expertise, not to replace subject matter experts, but really to help automate some of the more repetitive tasks that they tend to do on a daily basis, that can speed up processes and really lower costs, but also can help improve accuracy. So that's really a combination of AI and simulation, but also adaptive AI, where we're educating the AI model about what's going on in the outside world. So I mentioned variables. Variables can be a psychological model, a biological model, an environmental model. It could be supply chain disruptions. It can be interest rates. The models that we build are capable of learning. And if a model can learn, then it can reason and it can predict and make recommendations that are more realistic, that are more human-like. And so that's really what Dynam is bringing to the table, are these really bleeding edge technologies that aren't being done currently in today's market. A lot of the easy stuff is, you'll see platforms everywhere. A lot of the easy stuff is what's come to market now, which makes sense. The AI maturity is still in its infancy. But we want to get ahead of that because we recognize that the next level is here, it's now, and companies are starting to really start to trust that AI could actually do some great things for them. So we're making AI safe. In other words, simulation allows them to test in a non-production environment, make sure it works before deploying it. Adaptive AI allows them to bring their own subject matter expertise into the model simulation process so that the analytics that result, they can fine tune and teach the model, or we can teach it on their behalf, how to optimize the algorithms going forward so that they can fine tune their own parameters rather than someone having to come in and fine tune them or having to rewrite additional algorithms when data changes. You don't want to have to do that. That creates technical debt, which is what we're seeing out in the industry right now. We're getting a lot of interest from companies that you'd be surprised need help, but that do, because the expertise in these areas is slim, really hard to find. And we have some of the best folks here. I believe you interviewed someone, Matt, last week from my team, my Chief Scientific Officer, Dimitri Fisher, who's the inventor behind a lot of our technologies. I hope that was a good enough summary.
No, it was fantastic. Thank you. There's a lot in there, so I'm glad you painted that all in for us. Tell us, Diana, who are your customers here? I mean, when you talk about the application of artificial intelligence, predictive reasoning, and all these things, who is applying this kind of technology today?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it's really twofold, right? So there are the companies that are innovating, that are willing or sort of at the cutting edge, where they're willing to add artificial intelligence right now. And it's not the types of companies you would expect. So really it's in the manufacturing sector, and then drilling down within the manufacturing sector, think of medical device, specifically wearables, right? So they need accuracy, precision, prediction, and recommendations that can be delivered in real time. So it's a perfect application for what we're doing. And then another within the manufacturing space would be industrial automation. So any company out there that manufactures sensors for the manufacturing space, for the retail space, for any space where it's cameras and sensors that are detecting what's going on in the environment, those sensors are delivering analytics to the end user, whether that's on your watch or on your iPad or your desktop, that need to be accurate. And so there's a common thread here that you're going to start to notice. Any company that is relying on data in real time, data that requires analytics, data that requires accuracy and prediction, mission critical decisions are made from this data. So the healthcare industry is another area in addition to manufacturing. Aerospace would be a great one too, but right now we're really focused on healthcare and manufacturing and some of the sub-industries underneath those that I've just mentioned, mostly because they have the money to spend on these types of value add and really cost reduction solutions. And they're really looking to drive lower operating expenses. They're looking to increase their processes, and they're looking to improve predictive accuracy. So those are the folks we're focused on right now. There are so many industries where Once they're mature enough, we can really help. But those are the ones right now that we're excited to work with because they just get it.
Yeah, they do. And one of the companies that really gets it is American Robotics.
Yes.
Could you walk us through what was the engagement around American Robotics, and how did Dynam really help them to create business value?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of what's driving companies toward artificial intelligence isn't internal, it's from their customers. So American Robotics was no different. So if you're familiar, American Robotics makes commercial autonomous drones. They're one of the first or only companies to have FAA clearance for certain flight paths, and they are working in the oil and gas industry. So you can imagine what kind of automation and demand is required to be able to stay on top of predictive maintenance for oil spills, for fugitive emissions, for you name it. Right now, a lot of that is being done manually, where a guy in a golf cart is sent out in the field 3 times a day just to make sure everything's okay. And that there's no oil spill or loss of containment in any direction. So what their clients were demanding is really they want to know when something is happening or something is wrong as soon as possible, and they'd like to reduce their costs to do so. They're spending probably millions, if not billions, on resources, and so predictive maintenance. And in order to do that, and when you're flying a drone outside, there are certain constraints that you want to try to avoid. One is false positives, right? Because an oil spill can look like wet dirt. It can look like a garbage bag made of the same substrate. And so our technology, you can train the models how to understand different physics properties, in this case, irradiance, which is how light reflects off of an object. So we were able to educate the AI model on the irradiance model so that the predictive accuracy was 99%. And this was in a test environment. And so obviously the client was excited, and the company is excited, and it really gives them something where they can add value for the customer, but then it really helps to differentiate them as a customer, as a client, and as a company and a brand, because they're really doing something that the industry as a whole has been waiting for. And they're able to deliver that and then bring that to the rest of the market. And that's just one of the things we're working on with them. We can't talk about everything. I want to make sure that there's nothing that we've signed NDAs that haven't been made public yet, but really exciting stuff they're working on. They just merged with another drone company. And so lots of opportunities there for incorporating artificial intelligence at our level, which is the adaptive AI.
Yep, amazing stuff. One of the key things that really, from my experience getting to know you and the team, Diana, is your AI simulation system. So what is the AI simulation system exactly, and how does it benefit your clients?
Sure. So that's our internal platform. It's really a tool that we utilize in order to test the AI models, really validate them, stress test them in a non-production environment. So we'll build the AI model. We build in all the capabilities, such as being in an adaptive AI model. We bring in context augmented machine learning, which is our own patent pending technology, of which we have 3 patents. And we then create a sort of a real world copy of what that AI model is going to experience once it's deployed into the production environment. And we feed it data, and then we see how the model responds. And then we meet with the client to show them the results, and we decide whether or not we need to make any fine tunings to the AI model because we didn't like the results, or we love the results and it's ready to go. But it gives us our opportunity to really look at how the AI model performs before we bring it into the environment. And so we're one of the first to be able to do that. And then in addition, once these models are trained, fully trained and deployed, we're creating models that are able to adjust their own parameters. So we want to teach the model how to absorb knowledge and then adapt in their environment because they actually understand, similar to the human brain. So simulation is also helping the model during the training phase. One thing that we recently launched is a white label version of our simulation platform. So what we want to do as a company is we want to make sure we're educating as much as it's fun to build things for customers. We want to also educate and provide tools and build tools for the outside world so that others can also benefit and deliver these types of solutions to their customers. So we have a white label option for our simulation platform where we'll tailor it and put a skin on it for another company to use it as a development tool as well.
Very, very interesting. And Diana, why are you doing the Future AI show? Like, why does this show, why is it important to not only you guys as kind of category leaders in what you guys are doing, but for your customers too? Why are you doing this show?
I think because AI is so complex and it's so far reaching and there's so many possibilities for it, it's almost like weight loss where you can Google AI and you get 3,000 answers. And I'd say 90% of them are just really not what you're looking for. So I wanted to create a forum and a place where not just our clients, but potential clients, researchers, scientists, anyone that truly has a passion for helping companies get to the next level using AI can come and have an honest conversation about how AI is impacting them, how it is helping them, and even how it's not helping them, or maybe projects that didn't work out, and just have a place where people can really come and understand the positives and the negatives and how to avoid some of the pitfalls and experiences that others have had.
Yeah, and we'll be doing more in-depth insight related content on the show about common pitfalls, real world applications. We'll be introducing you to obviously the rest of the team at Dynam.ai, Dimitri Fisher, the Chief Scientific Officer, Craig as well, and the COO, and just basically really leading the conversation around the real world applications of AI right here on the Future AI Show. So that concludes this initial teaser episode and launch episode. Thank you all for sticking around. Diana, it's been a privilege having you here.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye.